Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and today, beautiful, beautiful world. Wherever you are, it's a beautiful world. Just understand that. Just know that. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a city or in an olive grove. It's beautiful. So today, we're talking about what my ideal form of relationship would be. I had somebody who recently asked me if I believed in marriage, and honestly, good question. So I had to respond with, I don't know if I believe in marriage in this day and age. I think I do. I don't know if marriage has to be like a legal contract or a contract with the church nowadays. If that's what you want, if that's what you were raised on, absolutely, by all means, get married in a church. Do it so that your bank accounts are tied, or however that works legally. I don't know. As someone whose parents divorced when he was 13, I have seen the difficult side of marriage. I have also seen the good side of marriage. My grandparents, all four of them, I think combined, they've been married for 125 years. Both sets of grandparents were married for 60 plus years, longer than that. So I've definitely seen the good side of it. I've definitely seen the difficult side of marriage as well. From not just like my situation, but like family, friends, and growing up, you see a lot of it because our society is changing a lot. And yeah, so I really don't know if marriage will be in the cards for me. I'm young as well. Like, I'm 27. I know like there are people who are younger than I am, who've been married for like 5 years now. But yeah, I think it's a little bit different in the gay community as well. I was engaged at one point, so a lot of people don't know that because I don't talk about it a lot. But yeah, I was engaged at a point in my life. So yeah, I don't know if I want like a formal wedding or a relationship like that. I think what it comes down to is if I find a partner who I really want to spend the rest of my life with, and that person would really like to get married, like in front of their family or in a big symbolic gesture, then sure, absolutely, sign me up. I will get married. But I think marriage has a lot less relevance today than it did before. I think spending your time with someone you love is vastly more important than some formal ceremony. And I think that's kind of common knowledge. I think we can all accept that, or at least, agree that you don't have to be married to spend your life with somebody. I have found it increasingly, I'm not going to say that. I think it has become increasingly more difficult to maintain a long-term relationship in this day and age. I think it is harder to find somebody you want to spend your life with, especially if people are socially active. I think there's a lot of energy put behind people looking for the next best thing, looking for a better thing, or, oh, this person messaged me on Instagram. And I think that's much harder. I think in my grandparents' day and age, they lived in small little villages. From like, in my grandparents' perspective, they lived in small little villages and only encountered like a handful of people. And then, once you committed to spending your life with somebody, that was it. The idea of divorcing or finding someone better or getting messaged on Instagram, that really wasn't a factor in the 1950s. So it's a different world. Obviously, I think if a relationship isn't working, or if one person really wants to get out of the relationship, they absolutely should, because you do not need a bad marriage or a bad relationship. You would much rather be single than in one of those. So it's a complex issue. It's something that I probably get asked a lot. Probably the most is just, do I have a boyfriend? Am I dating? How do you do this in dating? What should you do on a first date? There's many questions that we ask ourselves and our friends and our peers about what we should do, what we could do, what we want to do. And at the end of the day, I think I take a very Taoist approach to it all. Like, if it happens, it happens. I'm very grateful for the connections in life that I have. I know that a relationship is not the be all and end all, and it should never be the main focus of anybody's life. But we all think about it. I mean, I think about it a lot, and I try and imagine it, and I work towards it, and, you know, I try to connect with people and you know, make what I want a reality. But it can be frustrating. It's very easy to get frustrated with it all. And some days it's nice to just think about the good old days when you could just get married to somebody and that was it. But there was a lot of suffering in that era, and there was a lot of people who had to deal with bad relationships and things like that. So we glorify the good old days because the good old days were never that good. And you're also living in the good old days right now. You don't realize how good you have it now until, you know, 20 years from now. But that's my like general view. It's very easy to lose hope, and I really hope that none of you have lost hope in dating and relationships, because I think you would be surprised at the relationships you can encounter at any age, at any demographic, in any part of the world. There is so much potential, and there are so many humans on this planet. There have never been this many humans living on the planet at the same time than right now. And we have never been able to connect so efficiently. I mean, gay dating is pretty easy nowadays, with comparatively, like if you compare it to the 50s and 60s when persecution in Canada and America was absolutely full bore, it's quite different. And I know I get in trouble for saying that, because obviously we're not at total equality now, but I think it's okay to appreciate how good we have it now comparably. You know, so many people have fought for our rights and gone through such a war in order for us to live the lives we get to live. I think we have a lot of opportunity, and it's easy to be discouraged, but it's also easy to feel encouraged about the positivity and the possibility. So that's my thoughts. Kind of wishy-washy, honestly. Do I think marriage is awesome? Yeah, if it's awesome for the people involved, it's awesome. Do I think it's a necessity? No, probably not. If you don't want it, if you don't want to pay for some huge ceremony or expensive, or you don't care what the church says, or you don't care what the government says, why the government has a say in what we do is bizarre. Like, I don't understand that. Like, why are we letting the government regulate stuff? I'll never know. But anyway, those are my cursory thoughts on my ideal relationship. I think my absolute ideal relationship is something that just kind of falls into place, you know, very much like friends to lovers. If you want to go from a literary point of view, just you're friends with somebody and then you realize like, oh, I love this person. That's how I want to fall in love. That's absolutely. Or the only other ideal relationship, and this is like me being a little funny, is the enemies to lovers trope in fiction. So if you don't know, like in literary circles, it's called enemies to lovers, and it's basically where two characters are antagonistic towards each other. They don't like each other, and they're like, oh, I hate you. And then they realize that hate is actually love, and they fall in love with each other. It's one of the most satisfying things to watch in film, television, and books. Like, I read a lot of books like that. And oh my gosh, is that ever satisfying? So that would be my ideal relationship, is like enemies to lovers, and it just kind of falls into place. And then we like spend 60 years together. That would be really great. I'd love that. Sign me up for that one, okay? But yeah, joking aside, good things come to those who wait and work hard. So just enjoy, breathe, live life, breathe air. I know someday we're going to get there. If you know where that's from, you're an amazing human being. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I will talk to you tomorrow, and have a beautiful day.